hit from behind. Get a couple of rear endings. That's not good, is it? And then another rear ending. And oh no, I forgot about this. Momoz and Bazzy here. Momoz just pushed Bazzy out a little bit wide there. Round we go. Huge spin there. Hello everyone and welcome to week 50 of the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2021. Now, first of all, you'll have seen some changes already in terms of this video, and they will be throughout as well, so do keep an eye out for them. But first up, race A in the background. We are at Miyabi in the Hyundai Genesis. Oh my word, this is a bit of a carnage race. Let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 8 laps here at Miyabi. It's a grid start, and you will need traction control 1 for that grid start, and we are on the sports hard tyres. Now this car, very boaty, which does mean a lot of understeer, and we're really going to have to approach this track with care. I've really pointed out a few things in this track guide. I don't normally do a lot at Miyabi, but there's a fair few pointers here that will really help you out. Let's jump to the race then, and let's have a look exactly what happened. Here we are then at the start. Flash away as always. As you can see, Hyundai Genesis. It's quite a wide car as well. But you see, 3.8 litre engine. So yes, it's got a big boy engine in there as well. So we're starting right at the back. Brake balance -1. You can see that there. Now, I put traction control onto 1, and then I turn it off just before changing to second gear. And that gave me a little bit of a boost, as you'll see here. Look at that. A little bit of a boost compared to Shelty there, which I think Shelty may have changed gear. Change traction control after changing gear. Could be wrong. Shelty could confirm that. Anyway, into the right-hander we go. And somebody paused it there. Not sure why. But you're about to see a little bit of carnage in this race as we have gained 2 positions already as we head out of here. Now, as I say, boaty boy, understeery boy, whatever you want to say here. We're looking alongside of the driver on the right side who did see me coming, which is fair play to Verdu. And we're going to try not quite make the move, but look at Shelty. Beautiful move there. Down the inside, gets 2 positions. Goes in for the third there. I'm not even sure what flag that is. Is that Bulgaria? I'm not too sure. They turned in where Shelty was there. But Shelty does get the position, and so do we. So 3 positions for me. And we continue on. Shelty on a mission. Look at this. Shelty's about to get another one here. Broken Cornetto goes defensive then into turn 1. And you can see it's already been a bit argy-bargy. You see the understeer on the left-hand side. Cornetto going really far off. Shelty on the inside as well. We're staying on the inside here. I'll tell you how to do this shortly. Cornetto comes back, but we're already there, so we're gaining that position. Now, we're going to look down the inside of Legionero here, but they come across there, and we just get hit from behind. We get a couple of rear endings. That's not good, is it? And then another rear ending. So I was a bit concerned going into this corner, and as we come into here, another rear ending, and another. So, yeah, I was getting a bit frustrated. I was like, come on, chill out, boys and girls. It's only a race. I need to ram the rear here, but anyway, we continue on. And yeah, we're going to be in P9 now. Now, the red Hyundai behind sort of tapped me as I was turning left, which actually forced us to both understeer off, frustratingly. You just saw Shelty go to Narnia, I'm afraid, there. Anyway, we're going to continue on with the race. We can see the cursed position in the distance. That's our goal here in race A. As through the right-hander we go. And as you've seen, there's a lot of contact here. So do this at your peril. There's no penalties, though, weirdly. As again, coming straight across there when I'm on the inside. Very frustrating. So we're going to look down the inside now instead. And we are going to get this move done finally, I hope. As we see Broken Cornetto just running off there. And again, just a little bit of a rear end in there. That's definitely a mistake, though, because they do slow down a lot to, you know, give that position back to their players. Broken Cornetto goes all sorts of side race. And we can't do much there. So we just hit the rear. And unfortunately, Verdu's got nowhere to go either. So Verdu, you know, bumper drafts us along. I got told off for saying bump draft last time. Apologies. But we get a penalty for track limits there after all that carnage. So we're looking down the inside of Broken Cornetto, then into the right-hander. And we're on the inside. And it looks like we're going to get this done then. Yes, we are. Oof, that's close. And then we're going to go left and then hopefully get a good run through here. Avoid getting a penalty again. I don't want another one. And then to the right-hand side, and you're going to see all these penalties. Look at this. Everybody's got penalties behind. There's 4 cars with penalties, including me. But we managed to only lose 1 position here and stay on the inside. So Archie can't then take the position. So we're going to keep P7 for now. But we've got an opportunity here for that cursed one. Maybe even P5. P5 isn't that far away as well. So we're going to head a bit further on. And you can see Legionario with a penalty. Again, for that chicane cut. And we're going to have a little look down inside. We're purple on this lap as well. Not going to quite work out here. as we go into the braking zone. So it's just status quo for now. Through there, lots of oversteer there. You got to be careful of that in this car. Obviously, it's just overturning the car, and then it just, yeah, all the weight going in the wrong direction, basically. So we're behind Legionario, and we're going to go into a lap guide as well for you. So I'm going to explain this in detail. So heading towards turn 1, what you're going to do is you see that white line there? Lift off. Just lift off initially, and maybe tiny bit braking as you turn in. So you're lifting off and turning in at the same time here. See, I lift off. I'm braking a little bit. Now, as you get to this curb here, you should be down at 100 miles an hour. If you're not, you're going too quick. So by that point, in that distance there that we've just covered, get down to 100 miles an hour, and then you keep it tight. And again, I'm rolling the car. I'm keeping it on the curb here. Keeping it. And when I feel safe, so it's around 82 miles an hour, I can accelerate through the corner. And as you see, it starts to understeer wide, but we stay on the circuit. We're purple here as well. So coming into this left-hander, you're going to have to lift off. It's not flat out this. And then you want a nice line for this. And you want 105 mile an hour as your peak, but don't go lower than 100 miles an hour through there. And then in towards the braking zone here, which is the start of that curb there. Try and get as close to that as possible. Stay in third gear. If you go to second, it's going to cause all sorts of weird stuff. There's no need to go to second. Stay in third gear. You can then plant your foot as you leave this corner, and the car won't go crazy, and it just settles itself. Now, this chicane, as you get to that point on this chicane, I want you to change to fourth gear. It's a little bit of a short shift, but it makes the car so stable through here, and then you don't have to change on the straight as well. And it also allows the car to turn a bit more, because obviously with the change of gear, it lessens the power, like acceleration. So you just get a bit more turning, and yeah, happy days. You can get a decent lap there. So that is it for race A. We did finish in the cursed position. Very, very bumpy one. Now, Ango Chiggy call me Dirty Driver. We never saw them in the race, so I have no idea what they're on about. They seem a bit of a pleb. Maybe we've raced them before. I can't actually remember, to be honest with you. But I do say, check the video anyway. And yeah, of course I am. Anyway, let's forget about this angry Portuguese driver. Let's go to race B. Welcome then to Willow Springs. We are going to have some realm entries and a half here. That is for sure this week. And we are in Group 3 as well, so it's a quick Willow Springs. And yeah, you'll see in the race, there's a lot of action. Let's put it that way. Let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 5 laps here at Willow Springs. It's a rolling start, and we are on the racing medium tyre. Do be careful of that rolling start, of course, because some of you will start before the last corner. In terms of liveries, a huge shout out to Boss K80 from Driver's Room for the livery. Kind of a classic looking livery here, and we are in the R8, if you didn't already notice, to be honest. With at Group 3, normally you bring what you like. You're going to need a bit more of a handling car with a bit of power here, so the Audi seem to fit quite well, to be honest with you. Let's jump to the race then, and let's have a look at all the realm. Let's have a look at what happened in the race. Here we are then at the start. You see a lot of Renaults. Renault was top of the leaderboard. The Audi R8 was up there, to be fair. We've got RCZs. I actually think a lot of handling cars with a decent amount of power will do well here. I don't think the Renault will be the best car in terms of race pace, because they could get caught on the straights. I do think something like the Audi, like a Ferrari, will do very well here. The Beetle, potentially as well. But we'll see how the week goes on. I chose the Audi, and as you saw, -5 brake balance there for the Audi R8. So we're going to kick off here. As I said, just be careful in that last corner, being the last car, because, yeah, it could get a little bit sketchy if you plant your foot and we just get a whole load of oversteer. Anyway, lap guide, turn 1. Here we go. You're going to look for that. Oh, somebody told me what this was last time. Where the camera guys are. Somebody told me. I'm sorry. But you're trying to get as close to that in terms of that being on the edge of your screen for turn 1. Now, I stay in 4th gear in the Audi. Just pick a very safe gear through there. You don't want oversteer. As you head towards this fast right-hander, you're going to lift off as that leaves the edge of your screen on the right-hand side. And then you sort of want to balance the car. So you lift off initially. You might just go down to 25% throttle-ish. You don't want to be braking for this at all. Notice how there, I'm low down in the throttle. I'm then up a little bit. I then come off a little bit. And I'm actually waiting for that to be at least in the middle of the screen, if not more to the left-hand side of the screen. Yes, it's another camera post thing. Basically, as that leaves the middle of your screen, that's when you can accelerate and you should make the corner. Now, we've got 3 wide up ahead. What we're looking for is that 50-meter board. Now, I'm braking a little bit early here just because of what's happening in front of me. But the 50-meter board there is what you are looking for as we come into this left-hander. Again, I stay in a stable gear because I don't want a lot of oversteer. As you come through here, what you tend to do is start lifting off as the edge of that curb ends there on the right-hand side. You lift off. You might dab the brakes a little depending on how fast you've taken the previous corner. And you really want to get it turned in tight here, then accelerate through. Now, this corner very hard in an MR car, so I avoid going over the curb. If you're in an FR car, so front-engined rear-wheel drive, center that curb, but basically at the end of it is when you'll brake and you start turning in towards this left-hander. As I say, if you're in a front-engined rear-wheel drive car, what you can do is actually just center it. And, oh no, I forgot about this. Look at how close that Supra was. Yes, that was very, very, very close indeed. If you do get sent off to the realm there, be careful of that. Make sure you stay tight because they're going to go all the way across the circuit. This right-hander is the realm corner. And what you're looking for is that Toyota sign on the left-hand side. Now, basically, if you can get that Toyota sign just as it leaves the screen there, that's when you dab your brakes a little bit and then you start to slow the car down and balance the throttle. We just saw somebody else go off to the realm there. And then we've got another one in the Renault as well. That's a good... Oh, how close to the pit wall do you want to go there? In that Renault. But we make another position there. And we head towards turn 1. You see Shelty in the distance in that Evo. The Evo, definitely not the car of choice, I would say, as we'll find out a little bit later on. But through here we go. And you can see Shelty looking down the inside. Beautiful little look there. Does get the nose in. Billy does see it as well. Takes avoiding action. Beautiful stuff from both of these drivers as we head down in towards this left-hander. Again, I'm just trying to keep it safe in the Audi. One spin in this kind of sprint race and you're off and you're gone. So we got close to the Beetle there, but yeah, it was a bit too far away to go for that dive down the inside. And here we go. We've got another one into, actually into the pit wall this time. They went for the full realm entry. And yeah, that was platform barrier. Anyway, down the inside of the Yeedle. Job done. We go a little bit deep, but we do stop it in time. And happy. Oh, that's somebody else off to the realm. I did say there was a lot of realm entries here. And you've seen a lot. Maybe it's the amount of Jaeger bombs that Steve had there coming to fruition in terms of realm entries. So he stays a little bit sober. Anyway, we'll continue on. And this is why I won't pick the Evo. Look how fast we catch up to this Evo through here. I get down the inside then. And me and Shelty are about to show you some side-by-side action through here. Very hard to do. In fact, it's a little bit too difficult because Shelty just goes off there. Oh, I'm so gutted. But hey, the Renault driver here, Bosworth, takes full advantage of that. Gets 2 positions. Well played, Bosworth, with that one. 2 for 1. Happy days. We all love a good offer like that. As we continue on with the race. Let's advance a bit further on then. Bosworth has caught up to the Renault in P7 with the French flag on as well. And we're looking down the inside of the Renault. We pull out of that. Bosworth goes for it down the inside. There's enough of a gap there. Gets it done, but runs off. And unfortunately, the French driver goes fully off. That's another realm entry. My word, we've got a lot of them today. So up to P8 then. We can't see the cursed one. It'd be good to get it. Let's see if we can. So through the left-hander. Obviously, Bosworth has a lot of dirt on their tyres. So I'm just showing my nose here. I'm trying to be a bit cheeky. And the cheekiness works indeed. They give me enough room there on the inside. And we're going to take that position straight off them as we leave that corner then. And we just got that a tiny bit wrong here. So we're going to stay to the left here to make sure we stay defensive. We brake at that 50-meter board that I did point out early on, and we are keeping it for now. We come up here as the curb ends. You want to let off, let the car roll through, balance the car, then accelerate as we head down here. Again, don't cut the curb if you're in an MR car because it will go to Narnia. And through the left we go. Looks like we're going to survive potentially, but it's a bit of a slipstream fest coming up. So what I'd advise to do to defend on this corner, get to that right-hand side of the circuit, because that's where the only place they can go. And obviously the circuit's shorter here than it is on the outside. So you can keep this then. Now I was concerned maybe the dive would come here, but we really do keep it in the middle of the track. It'd be very hard to get that dive done there. So through we go, but we actually cut it a little bit too much. Get a little bit of oversteer, and unfortunately for Bosworth, just clips my rear. Potentially could have had that P7. Doesn't this time, and that is going to be it for Willow Springs. Quite a decent race that we had there, but there's going to be realm entries for days. So if you get frustrated with those, maybe don't do it, but I think you can have the odd good race here, so do check it out. Let's now check out Race C. Welcome to Brands Hatch then for Race C, and we are in Group 4 Machinery here. Let's have a look at the race details first of all, because it does get a little bit interesting with those. We're racing 13 laps here at Brands Hatch. It is the Grand Prix circuit, by the way. It's a rolling start. Do be careful of that last corner once again. We are on the racing medium tyres, and it's a mandatory pit, but you don't have to change tyres. Fuel ×2, tyre wear ×6. That's all you need to know for this race C. Now, in the background, you can see I chose the Audi. Now, the Audi is always good here because of the downforce, but the Megane Trophy is probably the best in terms of overall quickest lap time. The critical part here is the race. I don't think you want to use the Megane Trophy in the race because it can be overtaken very easily. as you will see in a little bit. I just want to say a shout out to Lex9999 from Driver's Room for the livery. Another nice livery there as well. Let's head towards the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happened and what kind of strategy you can do. We are then at the start of the race. I've actually done this race twice. This is the first time I'm doing it, but we'll jump to the second one shortly. As you see, a lot of Megane trophies in there. We've got a Genesis in there as well, and a mixture of all sorts at the back because why not? Now, brake valves in the Audi TT, I've gone with +3 here. Between the Scirocco and the Audi, I'd probably go towards the Audi if you want to pick an FF car. However, I probably wouldn't go with an FF car overall in this race, but I'll explain in a second. It is an okay choice. It's not the end of the world if you go with an FF car. If you like the Audi TT, go with it. I know this car would be very strong this week, so I said it would be, which is why there's lots of liveries for it from everybody. Big thank you for those liveries. We're going to head straight to a lap guide here. So turn 1, you're going to look for the Marshall box on that left-hand side. Look for that Marshall box. You're going to brake as close as you can as it leaves the screen. And in the Audi TT, it's 4th gear. It depends what car you're in. I've also tried the Ferrari here as well, and it's the same sort of thing through there. Same brake markers that I'm using. And towards turn 2 then, you're looking for the barrier on the left-hand side there where it's painted red, or you could use the green bit, and you're going to brake very sharply here and try to point towards the hairpin a little bit here at Druids. Now saying 3rd gear in an FF car. I highly recommend you do that if you're in an FF car. As we leave that corner then, head down towards Graham Hill. You're going to look for the start of the curb on the right-hand side. That is your brake marker here. And you sort of want one steering motion. Do be careful about going too close to that because you will end up in the realm. As you see in the distance, there's the yellow flag now. Somebody's already entered the realm there. We've seen a lot of them today. Anyway, this corner here, this left-hander, I'm using the end of that sort of curbing there on the right-hand side. Literally, as I get to the end of that, that's when I've started braking, and you can see that there on the screen. And take a wider line in, and then as the line meets the curb, that's where your apex actually is on that corner. Accelerate through. And we're going to head on this back straight then. So this is where a lot of the overtakes on the Megane trophies do happen. So we'll have a look at them later on. In towards the right-hander we go. We're looking for the red painted barrier on the right-hand side. Literally, you're going to brake, but not fully. And you literally want to just turn the car in. And it should balance itself there as we clip the apex. Through we go. Accelerate out. Be careful of the curb on the exit. Left-hand side, once again, we've got painted barriers. These are the perfect markers for Brands Hatch. Try and get that as close to the edge of the screen as you can. Again, use that as your marker. Brake, turn in. Be careful of this curb. The curb glitch still exists. You will see that later on as we go around the outside of Shelty, who backed off there, which he didn't have to do, but thank you very much, Shelty. In towards the right-hander then here, and we're looking for the 1 marker on the right-hand side. Very unusual for that to get wiped out, so yeah, I highly recommend using that one there. We just clip the grass on the left. Don't do that. We're going to head towards this left-hander, and I use the Marshall on the right-hand side. You can also use the shadow in front of you if you want, but that Marshall will always be there. Very easy marker to put to spot as well with the orange Marshall jackets that they've got on. So through the left-hander we go, and head towards the last corner. Now, I'm not sure why I didn't go for this move. I sort of backed out of it, and I'm not sure why I did. But anyway, as you head into this corner, you're trying to get as close to that as possible. Don't be as close as I am in terms of to the edge of the circuit because I'm about to get a bit of oversteer. But as close as you can, you actually want to cut the right-hander here a lot. If you cut it a lot, you'll carry so much more speed because you push out towards the left anyway. So cutting it that bit more reduces the angle and you should be happy days then. Right, that's the lap guide done. Let's get into some fighting. So we advance a bit further on here up into Druids. And we're very close. You see a lot of cars ahead. Ferrari's there. And, oh, the Megane Trophy gets it all sorts of wrong here. Going to go down the inside at Graham Hill. One corner I recommend not going too wide. And Velkoz realises that as well and gives it up. But Shelty takes the opportunity there. Goes around the outside at Graham Hill. Fair play. And also gaining that position. So me and Shelty going to look to try and work our way through the field here and try and get up into the upper echelons of this race. So in towards this right-hander we go. It's all getting a bit fumbly here. Everybody is side by side. I wasn't sure where to go here, so I'm backing off. Shelty does the same as well. Shelty racing super duper smart here. A little bit of contact there at the apex. They do try and keep it clean, to be fair, both of them. So fair play. Very hard to go side by side, but we take full advantage of that, as does Shelty. As does the Renault Megane Trophy behind as well. I think, oh no, I think the Ferrari has kept it just as we're behind McFearless here. So in we go. So this is what I mean by trying to cut it as much as you can. We didn't fully cut it there, but you can see how we took a much better line. We carried much more speed. So we're going to have to run on. This is what I mean about the Megane Trophy. It's so slow in a straight line. Look at this run we get here. In towards turn 1 we go. We're keeping it clean, side by side. Beautiful stuff with McFearless as we come through here. Shelty just gives us a bumper draft. I think we're potentially looking down the inside, but we were sort of just there, but going to try and follow us through this right-hander. Again, staying for gear if you're in an FF car, because it will stop your wheels spinning up. So down towards this left-hander then. And, Shelty not gaining that position. However, we're looking at Magic up ahead, who was a part of Miyabi Mania, down the inside then. And we're looking to get it done straight away. Look at that. Beautiful stuff as we come through here. Now, if you want to see how bad the Megane Trophy is in a straight line, they had a better run there, did Magic. And watch this. They're about to get dropped in a straight line. No slipstream from me, for me. But look at that. They're not catching me. And that's what I mean by drop, by the way. It's not the fact that they are disappearing. But they can't overtake. It's impossible. So they have to get some insane run and then try and keep it as well. So it's very much impossible for a Megane Trophy, or very hard for a Megane Trophy to overtake. Just keep that in mind. So we advance a bit further on then. We're caught up to a Scirocco and a couple more Megane trophies here. Now, we're going to talk about Driver of the Week here shortly. So we're going to look around the outside of Bazzi here. And look at this, 3 wide. Now, I did this on purpose to try and get cheeky. It didn't quite work out, but we did gain 1 position in the end. Fair play to the Scirocco as well, seeing that I attempted to be very cheeky, let's be real here. And we got the position from Wolby. So a shout out to you as well, as we're looking down the inside of Bazzi here. Not sure what happened to Bazzi. Bazzi started in pole, so what's gone on there? Not too sure, but we continue on with the race. A bit of a poor exit from me there. Scirocco stuck behind. And I know the Scirocco can't really do much here, because if they go out the slipstream, I'm just going to pull closest to the Megane, as you see there. So we're going to keep status quo. So Bazzi catches up to the French driver of Mayonnaise here. And they're going side by side through Paddock Hill. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Down the inside we go then. And we're looking to get that position. You can see our tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear now on lap 6 compared to other cars. But we get that position done and dusted. And we continue on. So, my driver of the week, I'm going to say this right now, is Bazzi Leono 666. Absolutely superb driving this week. And you're going to see some more later on. Brilliant stuff, honestly. A huge shout out to you. You're really well aware, and it was really nice racing you. And we'll see some more of that racing shortly. However, we've got the French driver coming up here of Mayonnaise, so we're not quite close enough to go for that move. But again, look at the speed difference here. It's absolutely massive. So if you've got a fast car, you can literally overtake them. Now, coming through here, we can't really do much. Bazzi gives us a bit of a bumper draft there. Beautiful stuff, but we can't really do much there. And so it's going to stay status quo. Probably a bit concerned about Christian there was Bazzi, but hey, we're keeping in line for now. Let's see what we can do through this right-hander. And not much is happening. So at this moment, I'm like, I'm being held up a little bit here by the French driver. So can we pit then? And what we're going to do, I'm going to give you the pit stop times for both changing tyres and not changing tyres. Remember, it's mandatory pit. However, you do not have to change tyres in the mandatory pit. Unfortunately, I didn't have an indicator for Bazzi there, so huge apologies. Now, do cut it a lot here like that. Gives you a much better line into the pit entry. So, in terms of the pit stop times then, I changed tyres there, as did Mayonnaise, I would assume. Pit stop times are going to be 11 seconds if you change tyres. No tyres is 8 seconds. It's not a big difference, and that does mean that it allows a lot of cars to race. Now, that time is taken from entering the pit to exiting the pit, and the no tyres was with a Ferrari, and this was with the Audi. So there may be tiny differences there, but it was around 3 seconds. Now, look at this. This is what I mean about just having so much more speed here. The Megane Trophy had slipstream there, and we still got past them. The other one's just gone off there. So we gained 2 positions, 1 corner. Happy days there. In towards this right-hander we go, and still keeping this position. Let's see what we can do there. Momoz up ahead. But first up, Bazzi comes out the pits here. This is a beautiful bit of defensive driving. Stops it beautifully on the apex. I can't really go for it. And keeps a position there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. As we then head down here. Mayonnaise goes for a dive and a half there. That wasn't really on there. Loses the rear end. I think potentially gives me that position back as well. So fair play. Now up ahead, we've got Momoz and Bazzi here. Momoz just pushed Bazzi out a little bit wide there. Not too sure whether that was just a mistake. It did look like a mistake, to be honest. We've all done that where we've just put it too far left there for Paddock. But we'll continue on. But Bazzi not losing his rag there. Or her rag. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. So not losing their rag, which is awesome to see. And they're still trying to race clean as you like. So as I say, this is my driver of the week this week. A huge shout out to you. It's actually awesome to see this kind of racing. Looking down the inside, not going to do it. Going to have to stay behind for now. as we continue on through here. So we had this advantage last time, remember? 2 Megane trophies slipstream each other, and we just pulled up alongside and managed to take advantage of that because they can't brake as late as everybody else. Can we do that this time? Again, look at the speed increase. Not close enough this time. Gonna have to pull out of it for now. Momoz goes a little bit deep here and comes back onto the circuit there. Goes defensive. These two still side by side. Unfortunately, Bazzi just lost out there, and we're going to take full advantage of that. They back out of this as well, I think, there. And we're going to get that P12 position then. In towards the right-hander we go. Keeping that position. We're going to have a good fight with Momoz then. So if you don't know, Momoz has gone clean, or he's not trying to lose his rag or anything like that. And he does stream and do content now, so you can check Momoz out on YouTube. Just look up Momoz91. Very easy to do. So let's see what we can do versus Momoz then. And I'll say Momoz is clean, so we're going to have a good race here with Momoz. In towards Graham Hill we go, and we are very close here. So obviously we've got a little bit of a run here. With being in the TT, it's a much faster car than the Megane Trophy. Down the inside, we'll look. We're not really there. Momoz comes back across there. Potentially could have been a pit maneuver. I sort of saw myself potentially hitting him, so I did back out of it in this situation. Yeah, here we go. So here's where the full advantage is. Look at the speed increase we've just got over the Megane Trophy. Momoz backs out of that completely, which is super smart driving. And we're looking to keep that position. Momoz looking for the cutback potentially. Not quite here. In towards this next braking zone. And in we go. Gets it a slight bit wrong there. And this is, again, some beautiful driving here between them both. So, Bazzi down the inside there. Momoz gives it up as well. So, beautiful driving from both drivers. It's nice to see. It's nice to have some good racing here. Now we've got Inca here. So, we're going for the move on Inca. Down in towards turn 1. Then in towards the braking zone we go. And we just get tapped there as we were going through the corner. And he pushes us off there. I think it was a mistake more than anything. I don't think it was bad. So apologies to Momoz there. I had nowhere to go. I was sort of stuck there. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake from Inca where I was down the inside. He just put his foot down and I was there and it was just a hit and I was off. I'm not too sure, but it is what it is. Unfortunate things happen. I'm going to have a race with the real Ozman now. Let's have a look. Good eye, mate. So through the left hand. Let's have a look. Megane Trophy on a straight. I'm in a TT. Goes defensive. There's only one outcome here. Look at that radar. Look at that. Look at me. I just drive past. I literally just drive past. And I leave a bit of a space there because it wasn't fully past. And yeah, then we do get the position. So you can race in the FF cars. You've seen that here. It is possible. I think we would have been far further up the field, potentially. And we're just advanced towards the finish there. And that is going to be that. Now, I do want to show you that the curb bug still exists. So we finished P11 there. So I'm in the Ferrari here. I've just done the pit stop just to try out the no tires. Into here we go. Round we go. Huge spin there off into the realm of gravel. So, yes, that is that. So, P11 for us. That is going to be it for this week in terms of the racing. I do hope you've enjoyed it. In fact, it almost came out at the back, behind me there in the end. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a pit stop. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with the content. Do let me know if there's anything you want changing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the improvements. More to come. But have a good rest of the day and hope to see you in another video or live stream very soon.